Hello, and welcome to the Talk of the Coast. I'm your host, Gina Looking, as always. I only have a few things to talk about, and I'm very excited. I have a guest today, and more about that. But man, it's been a monsoon this week, and it looks like it's going to be cloudy this weekend. But don't despair, and don't stop you, because there's plenty of things going on. For example, my favorite band, Concrete Soul, is playing Saturday night at the Haughty Heron, and if it's raining, then we'll go inside. But if not, they've got that beautiful band shell outside. And of course, Flabbergasted, you may know Flabbergasted, they're related to our sponsors, Carpet Country. Great band, local band. They're going to be at Mango Marley's on Friday night. So even if it does rain, there's no excuse not to get out and about. And the major thing that is happening here this weekend is our, no salt air market, but our annual Mexico Beef Artificial Reef Association tournament. And this is exciting. It's this weekend. There's a captain's party that is kicking off at 5:30, and it starts Friday night, and that's August 23rd. And you can catch wahoo, king mackerel, Spanish. There's going to be prizes up to $3,000. And then, of course, the Beacon Hill will have the, after the tournament, go over there to their website, register, get yourself involved. You can't have too many artificial reefs around here. We're very lucky that they do this and they donate to the Artificial Reef Association. And we've got a great gal, Taylor Gallagher. She's Miss Kingfish this year. Check her out. She's absolutely beautiful. And of course, in September, we have some other fishing trips coming up. I'll tell you as they come. You might see the advertisement for the Queenfish tournament. We're trying to figure out how they named it that, but that's coming up in September. This week was pretty quiet for me, I have to say, this week. I did my first tap class ever. I wanted to tell you all about that. I know it seems funny because I was an adult with a lot of little girls, and they were so cute and so sweet. But Emerald Coast Dance Studios over on Williams, Emerald Dance Academy, I'm sorry, they have all kinds of classes. If you want to get your kid, your daughter and or your son in some physical exercise, bring them over to classes. They offer all kinds of classes. I'll be taking a tap class and loving it. It was great exercise. Miss Barbie knows what she's doing. She's been teaching for a long time. When later we're going to come back and talk about some other stuff about that. I want to give a shout out to my Facebook friends. I want to tell you how much I appreciate that you go over to Facebook and Talk of the Coast and like a lot of the links that I put up. I try to let you know what's happening in town and all over. And if you want, and many places do, they post what's happening on my page. So go ahead and give me a shout out on the page, and then I'll shout you out because I had Susie from The Lookout. Hey, Susie. An old friend, Louise Ayala. Pardon me. My girlfriend, Diana Phillips. Hey, Diana. She came out and hang out with me this weekend. We had a great time. She's back from the old days when I first moved here and worked at the Fish House. And of course, Lillian Mellon, she liked a link on my page. Gayness Automotive also liked a link. My sister Kathy, hey Kathy, thanks for that. You may know Jane Smith. She liked a link on Talk of the Coast. I mean, it was a lot this week. You all were really watching. Ty, my sister-in-law, Casey Rhodes, how you doing, Casey? Bud Fleischer, and there was so much people. My Aunt Lois watched our broadcast last week live on Coastal TV, and my friends Blake and his wife Paula also watched us streaming live. So I want to tell you how much I appreciate that you're checking out the different ways you can see our show. I want to remind you, too, that there's bingo. If you live in town here in Port St. Joe, Monday nights at the VFW, there is bingo. Go ahead and go over there and enjoy yourself. You don't have to go all the way to Callaway for that. And I wish we would have had a better view of that blue moon on Tuesday, but it was extremely cloudy. I hope your weekend isn't that cloudy. But I want to tell you about the No Name Cafe. They moved their knitting club from Fridays to Thursdays, so go over and say hello to them. Winter is the best time for crocheting. There's no farmer's market this weekend. I wanted to let you know that. The Panhandle Players picked out their new season, and that kicks off in November. Hopefully they'll come on and tell you to come see some of their shows. And there's a bridal fair, and I want to tell you about that. And that's at the Palms Center, Back Beach Road, 1 to 4 on Saturday. So go over and register there. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to bring my guest on. I'm so excited. You know my new hobby is fishing. I get to talk fishing. So here's a couple of commercials, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Haley at the Port St. Joe Marina, and we are hosting our first annual Queenfish Tournament. It'll be held September 21st, and the entry fee is $50. First place will be guaranteed $500, and our species are going to be trout, redfish, and flounder. Registration is held at the Port St. Joe Marina, Blue Water Outriggers, and Half Hitch Tackle. If you have any questions, please contact us at the marina. Thank you.
What's in a name? Poe, Steele, Clancy, Hemingway, and King. These names and others, both new and used, are found at the No Name Cafe, downtown Port St. Joe, corner of Reed at 4th. Whet your appetite for colorful, locally made tie-dye, puzzles, and Florida souvenirs, while outstanding homemade baked goods, sandwiches, soups, and salads complement your reading adventures. It's never too late to think of your holiday gift giving. Make it special. Make it yourself. Enroll in the jewelry making or knitting classes taught by Lynn Dwyer. Register today at the No Name Cafe, a fun way to spend the summer. Endless possibilities exist for feeding your mind and your talent. No Name Cafe, books, and more. Downtown Port St. Joe, Reed at 4. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Saturday, 9 to 5. Closed Sunday.
Oh, that's a great idea. Hello, welcome back to Talk of the Coast. I'm so excited today because I have Captain Bobby Guilford from Breakaway Charters. Hey, Captain Bobby.
Hey, Gina, it's very nice to be here.
I'm so glad you came. You may have seen him helping Michelle out on our other show, the Tourist Development Show. She taught her, you took her out scalloping.
Yes, so we took Keith and Michelle, and a bunch of us went out and really had a great day and showed them our new rigs we got set up. We have a Brownie hookah rig, which is
oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
You can actually, go down in a little deeper water than most people do. I mean, it's 8-10 foot is nothing to this. It's like diving except without a tank, and it's pretty neat to be on the boat there. And they had a great time. In fact, they really didn't want to come in that day, and I didn't care about bringing them, but Keith said he had to come work.
Oh yeah, he had to work.
He was working the whole time, basically.
I know,
anyway.
poor thing. But I learned so much from watching you. I learned about the scallops and how you saw the thing, and I told people here I went on a boat trip and I finally fell in love with fishing. You've been doing this a long time, haven't you?
Pretty much most of my life.
Most of your life.
Actually, I don't know, maybe I was 15, 16 before I really got into it. But
you grew up here.
I grew up right here, born and raised right here in Port St. Joe.
That's right. And you're Break-A-Way Charters.
Right.
So you need to look it up like that. They're on Facebook as well, and you offer all kinds of fishing tours. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's I started out here in the late 60s, early 70s, and I mostly did inshore kingfishing, Spanish mackerel, stuff like this, and then I ventured into the bottom fishing, going off on down on the live bottom, and got into a little bit of offshore bill fishing and stuff. And then in the mid 70s, I went to the Keys one winter. I had a friend in Panama City, and basically there's not a lot of fishing here during the dead of winter. Fell in love with it down there, and it caught a lot of sailfish, saw a lot of different types of fishing. And from there, I progressed right on to selling my big boat and going into the flats fishing with a tarpon, permit, bonefish, and stuff like this.
Tell me some of the places you fish. You told me you've fished really in many places.
I've just been lucky over the years. I've being to the Keys, you're real close to the Bahamas. So I fell in with a fellow that taught me the flats fishing, Captain Bob Reineman down at Bud and Mary's. And he and I partnered up, and so I started going to Bimini every summer. We would have charters to go over. So we spent a month, 6 weeks over there in the summers, and that's the time I would have been back here fishing, but it was so much fun there.
Right.
And we were making money too.
See a lot of real reefs there.
Yes, they definitely do. And from there on, I mean, I fished just about every inhabited island in the Bahamas, plus a lot of them that weren't, and all the way down through the Turks and Caicos, and now I fished Cuba 4 or 5 times.
Amazing.
That was an experience. That was very expensive. And then I fished Cancun, Cozumel, on down, Belize, and a little further south, Costa Rica, Panama, and.
You also told me you took people diving.
Oh,
you don't do that anymore.
No, I never. We will on this. But we're going to do shallow water diving. Back in the in the '60s and early '70s, I did do deep water, a lot of tank, and I was a dive master for a while. And but it's I had more fun actually. Instead of worrying about everybody, then I could get out and do it myself. I enjoyed the fishing.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't have to worry about everything.
That's right.
So what's trolling and what's bottom fishing? I know that's part of your stuff, but I'm new at fishing, so maybe if they're new, tell me what that is.
Well, when we talk about trolling, we're talking about running your boat, driving your boat at a moderate speed. Sometimes for some fish you go a little faster, but most of the time you're going at a moderate speed, 5 to 8 miles an hour, and you have a bait. And most of the time nowadays it's artificial baits. But back in the day when we started, it was all dead live rig baits. I mean, you take some live, but most of the time we'd take a dead bait and rig it with hooks in it, and you troll it behind your boat. Well, now mostly everyone around here kingfish, and you troll for king mackerel, and normally now they're using an awful lot of live bait, and that's the way they're catching the bigger fish. Now they use cigar minnows, and they have a special rig, kingfish rig. You can buy it in the store, or you can learn how to make it yourself.
Okay.
And it's pretty neat. You keep your boat moving. Now, bottom fishing is where you have a sounding machine. You go to where the bottom, you have live bottom or a wreck that the grouper, snapper, and hold up on. And you'll pull up and you stop and you drop your line down, straight down to the bottom, or if you snapper up in the water, you can see them on your sounding machine. And that way you got your boat stopped, and you're trying to hold steady while the people are fishing.
Right.
Some days the wind blows so hard and the current's going so that you can't hardly do that. But
so that's your job, keep it steady while everybody tries to fish.
That's exactly right, and that's where my son Wade comes in. Although he got his license 2 years ago, he got him 2 years sooner than I did. He was only 20 when he got him.
So you're only 18 then.
yeah, that's about right.
I had to think how many years
No, I was, anyway, it was a while back. We'll just put it that way. There are a lot of people that's been here for quite some time, like my brother Chuck. And,
sure, Chuck Guilford.
But my good friend Danny Tanksley, which his son Jacobs fell right in behind him and does a real good job. They are good friends of ours and fished with us back in the day. And
how many scalloping tours have you done in the last few weeks? I'll bet that's been a big thing, right?
We've lost quite a few because of the rain, but we've done quite a few. We've probably a dozen or so here in the last month, 6 weeks, and month so, and we've done very well. Now, I've had a couple of times they were a little hard to find when the water was low and dirty, but there are quite a few scallops out there. They're spaced all around. They're not just all, you can't go to the same spot every time.
I know that.
You have to keep looking. You have to keep looking. Although they do travel, and
that's what I've heard. Like you could go one day and there'll be a bunch of them, and then the next
It's the most amazing thing. People that that don't know about scalloping, I tell them, I say, if you see something going along in the water, a little scallop, he'll just swim along in the water. And I've seen when you could go out, and I know some of the old timers have, when you could just go along with a dip net and dip the boat up, they'd all be up in the water going along.
Really?
And you can get as many that way for a little while. It's usually on a change of a tide or a change of a moon or something, that they'll move from one place in the bay to another.
We don't have much more time for people to go scalloping.
Well, what is it, September 24th?
Yeah, so
I think
have a couple
Yeah,
more
we've got
weeks.
about 5 weeks, 4 weeks,
gosh.
4 weeks.
I guess we do.
4 weeks. No, I think, and now they're getting larger.
Are they?
And the meat should be larger on the full moon. It grows right in the beginning of the moon. Now, I've talked to some folks that went yesterday, I guess, and in an hour they had their limit. They had 2 5-gallon boats.
You're kidding.
They found them, and
wow.
they're pretty reliable. my friend Mike LaPlante and
We were
his
talking
family.
about- I love Mike LaPlante.
So I knew you
course,
probably knew him,
Mikey,
so
of
that's why I was
course.
going to say. He's fairly reliable.
We were joking that you can't tell fishtails anymore because now everybody has the phone to prove it. My
That's right.
fish was this big, and they show you a picture of a fish this big.
Oh, it's quite a...
Now, in addition to fishing, if I wanted to just sightsee, that's something you would do as well,
Oh,
right?
I'll tell you, and you'd be surprised. The site I did run for about 3 summers here. I had a 28-foot boat. I could carry 24 people.
What?
And we sightsee. We would come to the point and let them shell for an hour. Mm-hmm. And I'm even thinking about maybe down the line doing that. But then we could
sounds like
go
fun.
in the bay, in the shallow water, and see all your stingrays, a lot of different fish, just your horseshoe crabs and blue crabs and stuff. And then we would go around the point. Maybe on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I used to carry them around the point through Indian Pass to Apalachicola and have lunch, and then come back through Lake Wimico.
What a great
Oh,
idea.
it's a wonderful trip.
You mean they just get off in Apalachicola, go have
Go
some
for an
fresh
hour and a lot of
oysters
fuel up and everything. Yeah, you can have anything you like there, and then shop a little, and then we get back and we come back to the Apalachicola River to Lake Wimico. And we, on the high tide, we come around the edges, and we've seen lots of alligators and turtles. Seen quite a few deer swim in the coast, and we saw a bear swimming in our coastal waters.
Wow.
So it makes for about a 7 hour trip, but it's a very nice with the breaks, 6 hours or so.
That sounds like fun.
And
And I guess people bring their own food and drink, and
well,
you just chillax.
yeah, we usually have a cooler with some water and sodas in it. But if they like drink beer, whatever.
As long as they're not driving.
There is a lot. That's exactly right. No, the captain doesn't drink.
That's right.
Captain doesn't drink. But the shelling on the outside of the peninsula, where it's a little hard to get to, is pretty good. And then, I mean, I take them. I'm born and raised here, obviously. I can carry you anywhere. If the weather's bad, we go out to the intercoastal. We can go up to East Bay, toward Panama City, up some of those creeks. Like I say, you see a lot of wildlife when you're tooling around the intercoastal.
You really do, especially if you're not being, just your goal is not to catch dinner.
That's like, no, we're riding and looking. We're there taking pictures, and
Right.
like we said, we have a lot of eagles now that are here, but used to it was tons of ospreys and an eagle every now and then. But we have, I think there's 5 that live out at Overstreet near my place.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful, beautiful birds.
And there's also nighttime fishing and trips,
sure,
right?
Sure. We
What
go
would we fish for
floundering.
at night?
Well,
Flounder?
we would go. Well, you can fish for anything in
Oh, I
the night
guess.
that you can in the daytime, but mostly at night you would go flounder. We take people flounder gigging, and or either we can go to the wrecks and go grouper fishing at night. You can do. Like I say, it's amazing out there on some nights when it's clear. What we call it's phosphorus in the water. You can ride down in the shallow water and the fish run off. It is absolutely beautiful. It looks like shooting stars when they shoot off.
I told
People-
you, I went on my first trip, and I was ashamed of myself for not having seen how beautiful the Cape looks
Oh,
and
it's
Captain Black's Island.
Right.
I was embarrassed. I didn't even realize it was a real island.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was. I don't know. Like you get so used to living somewhere, and you don't take advantage of how wonderful the
the area is.
paradise,
Unless you're too busy. Some of us get too busy working that we forget it's right here, right close. It's only 20 minutes,
Yeah, and then
if
you're
that
like,
far.
oh, do I want to pack the car?
Well,
No,
no.
get out and
That's right.
enjoy that.
That's exactly.
Tell me about the boats you have. I know, is one called Captain Morgan? Is that?
That's my son's boat, and
Okay.
he just got married to Morgan Wood. That's Wade.
Oh,
and,
is that the name? Oh, I
and
love
so
that.
his boat, instead of being Breakaway 2 or 3, anyway, it was Captain Morgan, which is beautiful.
That's a nice
He's got
homage.
a gorgeous 25-foot Mako.
It's funny
Yeah.
because I said to myself when I looked at it on the talk of the Facebook page, I said I thought boats were not named after women, and duh, Morgan is a woman's name.
Yes, it is.
Now, what
Captain
size
Morgan.
did you say? I'm sorry.
It's 25-foot Mako, and it's been recently just beautifully painted, and all the amenities and 2 new motors. It's a fine riding boat and a great fishing boat.
He also takes people out on
Yes.
charters.
Oh,
then.
yes. He's his captain also. And
So how many people would fit on his boat plus
6 people. We don't take more than 6. We like to take 4 to 6.
4 to 6?
Yeah, the captains. Unless your boat is inspected
Right.
by the U.S. Coast Guard, you are not licensed. Even if you have a license, it's 100 ton or 2,500. And if your boat is not inspected for more than 6 passengers, that's
So
all
maybe
you're legally
really?
legal to carry.
So if somebody's trying to carry too many people, you better watch and say, why are they? I mean, as a person, if you're going to take a charter, if they're like, oh, there's 20 people on this boat,
yeah.
you better.
Well, the only ones here I know that are licensed for more is like the Fishing Express and then Danny Tanksley. I think I don't know if both of those. So I know one of them he's licensed for more.
Well, 6 is a nice amount of people.
Well, it is. I mean, but you have to, like I say, you every 2 years the boat has to be hauled and inspected to make sure it's seaworthy. If you carry more than 6 passengers, really you probably ought to have your vessel inspected anyway.
Right. But you want to be careful.
Yeah.
Now, how long would you be out with 6 people?
As long as they like to. Wade and I run. Now we work good together. We're a team. He runs the boat part time. I deckhand. I run the boat part time. He deckhand. So we work together.
So you always have help, backup, so to speak.
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
We can do either a job, and sometimes if we're anchored or something, both of us deckhand, or we work it out real well. Now we're actually running a trip Saturday for my brother on the bottom line and a 12-hour trip. Now the trips we usually on our boats will go from 4, 6, or 8 hours. We normally don't go much over 8 hours because we don't have the indoor plumbing and the air conditioning and everything.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I saw some other boat had like air conditioning and a bathroom. And
41 to 43 foot, and then Danny's are 52 and 55 or whatever. No, they can carry the big generator, and they have enclosed. We are not enclosed.
So who fixes your boat, like if it breaks down? Do you
pretty
know how to
much
fix
me
your
most
own?
of the time.
So you really have to know a lot about a lot of things.
That's right, because really in the charter business, there's not that much money built in to pay somebody else to work on your equipment. I'm telling you, you have to learn how to fix rods
and if you're
and reels
out there in the thing, you better know what you're doing.
Certainly.
And what's the other boat? You told me.
My boat is a Breakaway, Captain Morgan and a Breakaway. I have a 26-foot aluminum. It's custom built in Bluntstown. It's wide. They're very wide and spacious, and it's also foam filled. Can't sink.
Oh.
I've had it out in the hurricanes carrying my boys, Wade and his friends, out so they could catch a wave surfing. And it just wave come over and fill it up, and you just run it out. It's open, but everyone says it's not as pretty as a Cap Morgan, but it's a fishing platform that you really enjoy being on.
Yeah, that's you've got one that's pretty and one that's practical.
Right. And we also have a 20-foot skiff that a bonefish or a flat skiff. I call it bonefish because I used it in the Keys, but with a platform, and you push it along or idle along, whatever, and anchor up. We catch trout, redfish, flounder, and we normally take 2 people on that. We can take up to 4 on it. But normally 2 or 3 is.
What's your favorite fish to catch?
Oh Lord, I enjoy them all. I've caught a lot of sailfish, a lot of marlin, and sailfish is very exciting. Tarpon is very exciting.
Oh.
They jump
nice
a lot.
fight.
Oh, they do a lot of jumping, a lot of acrobatics. It's very nice. And Tarpon's in right here now.
Oh, it is?
It is. Indian Pass is one of your hot spots, but we're catching tarpon down at Crooked Island Sound on the outside of the point here. I had a friend the other day he and his wife were going scalping toward Black's Island, and they saw some tarpon, what we call daisy chain. They were going in circles. And why they do that sometimes, I don't know. Maybe they find a lot of bait and they're just eating them. But
maybe.
He picked up a rod and threw it over and hooked on a topwater trout lure and hooked the tarpon up, had him on 45 minutes. Said he jumped and jumped and jumped, about 70, 80-pound tarpon.
Now, do you fish
right,
now for pleasure or?
When I can afford it, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And
otherwise, it's work.
Where I have a lot of pleasure is, like I'll explain to you and like the Keys. I'd like to get you guys out so you see what you're talking about.
Right.
And we would be, when you get a half a day sometime, either early morning or late evening. The last few afternoons, the rain stopped. It's been beautiful. It would be cool too. Very nice. Yeah. We're up in around anywhere from about 11 to about 3 o'clock. It's so hot right now, with the sun, unless it's raining on you. But the fish bite in the rain too.
Now, as the captain, is it your job too to like help me put the one thing I don't know if I can do yet, and I know I'll have to brave it up, is put the bait on.
You do not have to worry because that's all included. We bring the bait, we bring the rods, reels, and hooks and lines.
I don't even have to have my own rod and reel.
You don't know. All that's included.
That's nice.
All of that is included. Bait and the tackle and everything is right there.
That's excellent.
Whoever's your mate. But I'd be more than happy to put your bait on.
You
know that for sure.
I tell you, I know that's like the one thing I'd have to,
No, we take care of all that. In fact, it's
that's
easier for us to
fantastic.
do it and have it rigged, and we would coach you, and I'll tell you this, and some of the guys might not like it. A lady angler is what they would call you when you're a fisherman.
Okay.
But in the beginning, a woman angler or a female angler is much better fisherman than a male. I've caught, it's unbelievable.
Why is
fish
that?
I've caught sailfish on 12-pound tackle. I had a lady catch them and has never caught a fish before in her life. Because y'all listen. And a man who has fished a little thinks he knows sometime more than we do, but I know a few that do know more than I do.
But I see what you mean. It's the way that you approach it.
I've had a couple of funny stories you're talking about. I had a couple on the boat, and the lady was in the chair and had a sailfish on, and her husband went to run over and started screaming, telling her what to do. And I finally asked, "Sir, you need to back up and let the mate tell him," because she would listen to my mate, and and he was just driving crazy because he wanted to have one on too. I think he had one on and he lost it, but anyway, it's tough to be. That's why it's good when you go fishing that your mate is, can help you out and explain to you what to do and what not to do, because it takes a team effort, not only the angler, the captain and the mate on the boat.
Absolutely. The one thing I worried about was casting, and I think if I had a little practice with that,
you wouldn't have any trouble at all. I used to teach fly fishing for Orbis down in the Keys, and where I fished out of Ocean Reef Club, and like I say, the women anglers usually didn't overpower, and they listened, and they had a lot of technique where a lot of gentlemen, had a little experience, and sometimes a little, if it's wrong, it's hard to break.
That's true.
It's like
that is true.
It's like turning a spinning reel upside down, winding it backwards, but that's just one of those things.
Before we go, I want to talk about the Labor Day, but before that, what's the best way to get in touch with you to book a charter? Is it calling you?
Yes. My phone number is 850-227-4159. And my son Wade's phone number is 850-340-1188.
Excellent.
And that is the best way to get a hold of either one of us. I don't have I'll have one phone now, and that's all I keep.
Now, they have a Facebook page, but he's busy fishing, so you're not going to talk to him directly on the Facebook page. But look it up. It's got, oh my God, he's got grouper and all of his fishing stuff. Break-A-Way Charters. You can go to my Facebook page, Talk of the Coast with Gina Vicari, and I put some pictures up, and that'll link you over.
You
but my favorite band is playing on Sunday, Labor Day.
Yes, we do. Bill Corinne has offered his boat, the White Whale, and we're going to have Jeff Anderson, Zach Farrell, myself, another partner of ours in the breakaway, Captain George Lout, have put up a little money for them, and Clark and Katrina and the others are going to be out, and we're going to be jamming, so to speak.
Jamming? I think it starts at 12, right?
We're going to try to all be over there around 12 and get started so we can have
where
a
exactly?
great afternoon. At the end of St. Joe Point. So we call it, everyone here calls it Point, but it's the end of St. Joe Peninsula. It's the northern end of the Cape Sandblast.
So if I have a boat, I'll go over to the end of Cape Sandblast, and there'll be a place for me to anchor.
You'll see, there's a big, we're going to try to have it down, a big boat in the middle so we can have a couple hundred boats on either side.
Excellent.
You just follow the boats because everybody will be coming out there.
Yeah, and bring your own food and your own drinks,
right?
Yeah,
a lot of folks
providing that, but the music will be.
Oh,
and
out
if
this
you
world.
want to tip them, if you go there, you go tip Clark.
Clark.
He was from here.
Yes,
he's
born and raised
here. Boy.
His family is in the music business. His older brother Robin and Clark and Robin's wife Trudy, they play. But Clark and his family and my family have been friends for I don't know how many years.
I mean, Saturday night, if you've never seen them, go see them at the Haughty Heron, and I assure you, you will go on. And that's Labor Day, right?
And that's Sunday.
Labor Day Sunday.
That's the 1st of September. That's Sunday. And like I say, a lot of folks bring out the grills.
Oh,
I've had people feeding me hot dogs and everything during Memorial Day when they had a
Now, is there another way to get there if you're a
No,
landlubber?
the only way you can get is drive to the park and walk 6 miles down there. So I don't think so. There wouldn't be much. I mean, you can catch a ride with someone. If anybody doesn't have a ride, give me a call.
Call
and
I
I will
Captain
figure a
Bobby.
way to get you over there.
Put that phone number back up there.
Okay.
I want to thank you so much for coming and talking to me about fishing.
Yeah.
And really, if you want